at CYFIS training is we want to make sure that you're doing the exercises correctly. And the main reason why we want you to do the exercises the right way is because we don't want you to get injured. And so one of the areas that we really want to pay attention to when you're exercising is your lower back. I do know that when we do things like frog hops and different types of exercises like dead man's and stuff like that, if you're not doing it the right way, you can put your back in a vulnerable position. So trying to minimize that, there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. And above all, I think really what it comes down to is if you are someone who has some mild discomfort in your lower back, I would say pay attention to your lower body movements. When it comes down to it, your body is going to try to cheat any way possible. It's human nature for people to want to avoid pain at any cost necessary, and if that means putting your back in, like we said, a vulnerable position, you'll do that without really knowing it. And so when you're doing something like squats or squat jumps, frog hops, croaking, aurochs, whatever it is that we do in CYFIS training, where you're having to bend down, make sure you're bending at your knees and at your hips. A lot of us actually just bend at our hips, and so you're just bending at your back, and so your back's getting fatigued, and you're putting it, again, you're compromising form because you're thinking that you're going to give your legs a rest, but really what you're doing is you're kind of wrenching on your back so much that it's causing aches and pains. So I want to go over a few things just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Probably the most basic thing is our squat jumps. Now, when we do our squat jumps, we do them by touching the ground. And the only reason why we ask you to touch the ground is because we want to make sure that everybody's getting low enough. Back before when we weren't touching the ground, you'd see people just doing this and doing squat jumps. And that would kind of upset the people who were getting low and doing them the right way and exploding up. So how we've changed that is we ask you to touch the ground. But when we say touch the ground, we don't mean just do this, come up. We're not saying just bend over at your hips. You need to bend the knees and explode up. Now, when I do that, at least what I do, is I actually try to go to the inside of my legs, just inside of the heels. Let me back up a little bit. I try to go like right here to the heels, still keeping my chest up. Get my butt back. Whenever you're doing something with the squatting position, you want to get down, get your butt back. Knees are not going to go over the toes. They can slightly, but not too much. Okay, so butt back, chest up. We try to go at least parallel to the floor. You can go a little bit lower too, but we don't require you to get your ATGs or ass to the ground. We just want to make sure you go to at least parallel. So touch the ground up, touch the ground up. Another thing is aurochs, or dead man, better yet. When we do our dead mans, we're holding it like this, down and up. Okay? This one gets people all the time, especially when you're late in a routine. You're in your 70th, 75th exercise into it, and your legs are probably trembling already. It's easy for you to want to try to just half-ass it and go through it just kind of like down just a little bit, but you really got to watch your back when you do that. A lot of people don't get their butt back, and so they're going like this. You're going to kill your knees and your back if you do that. Get your butt back, get low, and up. What I do, if you notice, I will take the underside of my elbow and try to touch my lat or touch my quad. So I'll be like this, down, up. Okay, again, my butt goes back. I'm not going like this. Okay, I can already feel that on my back just demonstrating it. So those are two of the exercises that I probably notice most commonly that are kind of being done the wrong way. But there's other ones. There's things like hang 10. I mean, when you're doing that side to side, try to keep your chest up. I'm looking at you. Pretend that you're looking at somebody across the gym and you're just going side to side instead of this and this. It's really not good for your back, and it's not good for your knees either. And so the other thing I might add to this is that when you hear our trainers kind of critiquing you, it's not because we're trying to be a referee and tell you you're not doing it good enough. No, we're trying to keep you from injuring yourself, because when it comes down to it, that's the reason why you're here. We want you to be able to not only improve your health, but make sure that you're not getting any injuries or anything like that. So kind of take what we say as our trainers, take what we say seriously, because we're just looking out for your best interest, and we really want you to improve while you're here.